Hey everybody. So I had a reader ask me to do something that I thought was sort of odd, but it could be fun, so we'll see how it goes. She asked me if I would read some passages from my books and share if there's any story behind it. Wow. Well, there's a story in practically every scene, but I am going to read a couple. Not today, just one today, a short one. And there is a story behind it, and I'll do some of these and see how it goes. So I'm going to read today a very short passage from A Lady in Defiance, although this is the old cover now. CKN Publishing has, given it a new cover. And this is a scene where Charles McIntyre walks out behind the hotel and he sees Naomi chopping wood. McIntyre watched Naomi for a minute from the stoop, hands in his pockets, hat tilted back on his head. He was quite impressed by her skill with an axe. She split several pieces of wood, each with one single, unnerving swing. Musing over his little princess, who seemed tougher than most many knew, McIntyre sauntered down from the stoop. "Remind me not to rile you." Naomi stopped the axe in mid-swing and scowled. "Too late. What do you want?" A kind word, a civil tone. She held his gaze for only a moment, then sagged and let the axe rest on her arm. She shook her head and sighed. "I'm sorry. You are a true scoundrel, but just because I don't like you is no reason to be rude. And I do so want to be friends." Frowning deeply at his sarcasm, she went back to her work. She wasn't going to get off that easy, he thought, as he ambled towards her. "The importance of the work you're doing cannot be underestimated. If you don't stock up on enough firewood for the winter, you'll be burning all that new furniture for warmth by January." "That's why I'm out here." She carefully balanced a log on the chopping stump. "We're trying to keep someone on this chore sun up to sundown. Well, I've come to assist." Her eyebrows shot up and she looked at his perfectly manicured hands. "With those?" He approached her, stepping in too close because he knew it bothered her, took the axe. "I can chop wood. If you recall, I was one of the first white men in this valley when the closest town was over 400 miles away." "I'm sure you can chop wood." Naomi backed away and crossed her arms. "But judging by those pretty hands, I'd say it's been a while." With everything he had seen and done, how could she think him such a hapless greenhorn? Determined to split the log with one swipe of the axe, he took hold of the handle and hoped, almost prayed, for a perfect split. I'm going to end it there and tell you that I came up with this scene when I was doing Lamaze class, and I was pregnant with my first son. They tell you to practice breathing and go to a happy place. And so I went to a river in Colorado, and then I started thinking about my sisters being there, and then I started thinking about my main character, Naomi, who hadn't written the first word yet. And who would she be talking to? And she would be talking to Charles McIntyre. And the whole story just came out of that one little scene sitting by the river in Lamaze class.